Greetings to you all and welcome to a game that I'm aware you cannot currently see. There it is, because apparently the opening splash screen is not captured by OBS. I don't know, I don't understand. But welcome, it's Spin Rhythm XD, an electronic music rhythm game in the same vein as Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Being a rhythm game, it is notoriously difficult to commentate whilst playing, but we're gonna give it a damn good go, and you're gonna have to forgive me. Right, so, welcome. This is my third attempt at recording a gameplay video for Spin Rhythm XD. First time got absolutely obliterated by YouTube. Copyrights galore. I think there was a total of 8 copyright strikes made against that video, so we have to be very choosy with the music that we play, but that's alright, we can work with that. Second time I tried to make a video, it went fine, and then the game underwent a rather large rework just as I was about to upload, so everything I made was irrelevant. There we are, attempt number 3. Right, so what we have here is a rhythm game, and this game is designed for playing with MIDI DJ decks. Now, it might shock you to know that I am not actually a teenager living in the heart of Ibiza, so I do not have MIDI DJ decks. Instead, I have a mouse, keyboard, a controller, and a different type of keyboard. A MIDI keyboard. And I'll be trying with each of those 4 different implements to show you the variety on offer here, over a course of different songs, at a variety of difficulties, with varying struggles on my part. Let's crack on. So, this is the game. There's tutorials that teach you how to play. We don't need that, you've got me. We have a bunch of songs that if I let play for too long, we're going to get copywritten, strucken. We've got to be very careful what we choose here. Basically, as far as I go, if it's a music track that was produced by someone, I'm in trouble. If it was produced for the game, which means I see this little symbol here, I'm safe. So, strategic music choices here. But let's go. We'll start on easy to show you what it's like, and I will be playing with keyboard. So, how does the game work? Left to right shimmies this magical wheel at the bottom of the screen. Terribly, it seems. We have to match colours that are being laid by the almighty road layer ahead of us with the colours of the wheel at the bottom. Simple matching game, but it's more complicated than that. So, you see we have small coloured circles, not that, these. All these need to do is to be aligned with the correct color at the bottom. So blue circle needs to hit with the blue beat thing. I don't know. Decks. DJs use decks, right? I'm old. Give me a break. So all you need to do is color match. However, if you are instead faced with a big old block, such as that red thing I just punched, you also need to press your beat confirmation button of choice as the block arrives with the almighty wheel at the bottom of the screen. Now for me that means spacebar, but you can bind it to whatever you want. These two form the most basic of notes, and it's the main premise of the game, except this is DJ based. And because it's DJ based, it's deck based, what the DJers, that's right isn't it, yeah, like to do, they love to spin the decks. Spinning is by far and away the best mechanic in this game. Observe. What's a spin? So, in order to shimmy the wheel left and right, I'm just tapping the left and right arrow keys, okay? Easy stuff. But in order to spin, I'm slapping the keys violently. Now, that doesn't do anything, let's be perfectly clear, because I'm playing on keyboard. But it's relevant to other control schemes. I am slapping left or right with ferocity. And that engages in a long spin, and it feels really good. I don't know what it is about the spin, but just something about it feels fantastic. And I guess we'll explore more. Careful not to pause any of these. Okay, I see lights by Kitty. Wonderful stuff. Stop the difficulty. Hey, I've done this one before. Still on keyboard. So tapping left and right just shimmies me a notch left and right. But spinning, you do a big slap in one direction and you let it go. Now on keyboard that doesn't really mean very much because mechanically speaking you either press the button down or you don't. And if you're playing on a DJ deck, you can understand you'd have to continuously spin in that direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Similarly, if you're playing on controller, you can move the wheel at the bottom with the analog stick, but in order to do a spin you have to really slap it in one direction, and with the mouse you've got to flick your wrist violently in one direction. New obstacles have appeared now. Hold notes. If the press notes have a big trail after them, then what you need to do is press the note and hold it down. Follow the light glow. Now that section is a scratch section. Now I don't know what the word scratch means, but I saw it written down in the menu under the button controls. It means I can confidently say that is a scratch section. Yeah, I don't know. You just have to mash left and right, so I suppose on decks you're frantically spamming left and right and ruining whatever disc you're playing, I don't know. But it's an enjoyable obstacle because it always resolves to a, well, not always, but it usually resolves to a single directional spin. And I love that because it means you will subconsciously adjust the pace of your scratching, is that the right term? So that you can slow down to make sure you finish on the correct direction for the way you need to exit the scratch. It's hard to explain, it's true. Naturally, your hands will just figure it out. Your brain takes over. Don't know how, but it does. I try to give some moments of quiet so we can appreciate the music, but it's hard to commentate music without ruining it. I'm in a dodgy position, alright? Experience at the top of the screen. Every time you complete a song, you get experience based on how well you do, and that unlocks new songs over here. Also some aesthetics and cosmetics and what have you. So you can see I've unlocked the song Let Me Hear That, and The Magician. I don't know what these songs are. I don't know any of these songs. To be perfectly clear, I looked through the music tracks over here, which was very quick. And originally, when I went through the list, I thought it was Dubstep City. It's dubstep, right? That's what it's called. Because there was a lot of music like this, I think. That's what you're getting at that. There's a lot of music like that in there, and I got concerned. But there's some music that's more to my taste in here. There's a few sort of piano-focused tracks. There's some lighter stuff. I don't know. I found some music in here that I didn't think I'd like, but I did. There's also some completely dead, emotionless rap. I don't know what kind of genre this is, but it's questionable, and I can't play it because it tripped the YouTube censors. But it's here, you can see it. It says Lovesick by Moe Shop. It's weird. It's so weird. Can I give you just half a second of it, maybe, without YouTube wanting to obliterate me? No, I haven't unlocked it yet, alright. Look forward to that in the future. We're going to do something on hard now, I'll be alright. Maybe we'll change up the control scheme. So now, let's try some controller action, which is going to look very similar to you, because controller plays pretty much the same as keyboard. So I will be using a PlayStation controller. X is just my button for hitting notes to the music, and I'm using an analog stick. So you might hear the analog stick slap violently when I do the spins, but other than that, it's going to be much the same. It'll get exciting though when we bust out the mounts, trust me. Right, so we'll do a hard. One thing to notice, this shape, this triangle that becomes a diamond, that becomes a pentagon, that becomes an inverted pentagon, that becomes a hexagon. This is the number of different types of obstacles you face. So this is beats, taps and spins, I think. And then this introduces hold notes, is what we saw. We introduced something new here, which are these green pulsing bars. What is a green pulsing bar? It is simply, if one ever wants to show up, another note that you need to press, this time using a different button. So if you know the PlayStation controller layout, it's X for the regulars and it's squares for the green ones. But you don't need to align them to the wheel, which means they can be activated in the middle of spins or just any time. There's something very, very satisfying about the spins when you start to use a more dynamic control system than just left and right arrows. Without playing it for yourself, it's very hard to explain, but there is a tangible difference between moving the analog stick left and right to adjust the wheel at the bottom and really smashing it one direction for the spin. You get into it. Sorry, I need to concentrate. I would say it's quite hard to slap an analog stick left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That is not easy to do. I wonder if I can spin it in circles. I might try next time there's a scratch section. Now, one interesting thing about this game is that when you get to the harder difficulties, the songs get longer. Not always, I don't think, but often. What that means is the game can have more difficult sections obscured from the easier difficulties. So imagine there's a song that has a really frantic, high-paced, high-speed, difficult section. Rather than having it in the easy section and just having it be tame and tepid, it can be obscured, masked away. Only revealed when you get to the harder difficulties. It does mean that when you settle in for a hard or above, you are really dedicating yourself to quite the mission. You can see in the bottom middle underneath the mysterious wheel the length of the track and how far through it we are. Genuinely think I'm doing alright. Not great. Not by any means. I'm not making a fool of myself. Which surprises me. The level up system, as you can see, is pretty generous. You get about a song per song. Every time you complete one, you unlock a new one near enough. We're going to unlock all the songs pretty quick. Just unlock 4 songs or something? I don't know, loads. Means I get to show you my personal favorite thing. Not this one. Sorry if you're a big fan of this song, but this is weird to me. That's all you can hear of that. But it is the same monotone throughout the whole damn song. I'm sorry, it's weird. Okay, I can't come to terms with it. It's weird. Alright, what else can we do that's in the OST? Am I running out of songs that are safe? YouTube friendly. Unfortunately, there's a lot of songs here that are... Oh, this is good, right? Yes. A lot of songs from... I think it's called Mad Cats. I don't know, okay? I'm old. Leave me alone. But there's a lot of songs that are from Mad Cats, and they're just copyrights. Danger zone. Anyway, My Museum by Maxo. We'll play on Expert. Sure. Expert doesn't introduce any new mechanics, it just gets harder.
Ready, 2, 1, go!
That means the commentary goes down a bit. By far the hardest thing, if on my mind, is when we switched colours from red to blue or blue to red. Because it means when you look ahead at the track, you need to line up the dead space of where you are, rather than where you currently are. Because the colour switch reverses the wheel, essentially, at the bottom. Very taxing on the old brain. Like that. Or that. It's so confusing. Your instinct is that you want to turn the wheel to face the incoming note, but you can't, because the incoming note is a different colour. I'm not giving up. I'm not sure I've ever completed an expert track. Usually I play normal for comfort. I tried a full combo normals, and then hard as my push myself a little bit.
Get ready.
Wrong. This happened. Where's my museum gone? There it is. Well, okay, we found a bug, guys. Paying attention to the menus or retrying doesn't work quite the way it's supposed to. As you can see, the green notes are set to a slightly different beat to the rest of the main melody. Usually it's to do with the clapping. Oh, we're losing so much HP. Right side of the screen for my remaining life. Oh, messes with my mind. What it's worth, I can't look at the backgrounds in the slightest. I have to concentrate 100% on the incoming notes, but sometimes when you engage in a long spin or something, you have a breather and you can look at the backgrounds, and I find them quite nice. They're quite hypnotic almost. They're very relaxing and meditative. I also can't look at how long is remaining on the song. It's just impossible to look down there. I can barely look at my HP. I'm just peripheral visioning that. Oh, hold on. I feel like we must be getting close to the end, although I have no actual idea. Ooh, I'm somewhat proud of myself. Give me that C+. I like the little plus, it makes me feel better than I am. Alright, that's another control scheme done. So let's go on to the fun one now, shall we? So I've tested this before. Maybe I should pause. Hang on. Let me pause the recording while I swap to the MIDI keyboard. Okay, so we're back. Had to restart the game in order for it to detect the MIDI keyboard. I kind of expected that to happen, and I don't blame the game for that. Rarely is a piece of software gonna dynamically update the MIDI controller list. We'll give it as a go now. So this didn't work before, for a very specific reason. But the game has undergone an update, so we'll see if it's been fixed, but I doubt it very much. Because this game is not built to work with a MIDI keyboard. And honestly, it's kind of a meme that I'm even trying it. So I have a MIDI Keystation 49E. Hear me? And that's a MIDI keyboard, which is a keyboard, as you might imagine. And then it also has a pitch bending and a modulation wheel. Not going to go into details on that. But the problem is spin wheel. So when you're playing with a keyboard, you don't spin the wheel because there is no wheel to spin. An analog stick has nice variety of movement left and right, so it's fine. Keyboard is just a very static, staccato left, right. That's it. It moves in notches. So you have spin wheel left and spin wheel right as options. But when you're playing with the mouse, for example, spin wheel is the mouse cursor, has a lot of, a lot of freedom of movement, a lot of precision in it. If you had a MIDI DJ deck, then you'd have the same level of precision in spinning the deck. Because this assumes that any MIDI instrument is going to be a DJ deck, it assumes you're going to have some kind of wheel you can spin to control the left-right motion. This isn't true for a MIDI keyboard, because I only have buttons. Now, I could theoretically play this game by binding spin wheel left and spin wheel right to keys, but I don't have that option here. Is when I try to bind to the spinning of the wheel, I have to actually spin something for the game to recognize. And if I depress random notes on my keyboard, nothing happens. I can't trick it into thinking I'm spinning by rolling across certain keys. It doesn't work. The only thing I found that does work is if I change my modulation wheel, which is a stupid thing to do, but nevertheless is something I can do. So by spinning my modulation wheel on my MIDI keyboard, I can bind it to work. The problem is, a modulation wheel only goes up and down. It doesn't go left and right, which means it can only send up and down information. So I can't control the in-game wheel with this either. What I can do, though, is I can go up and down the menu like this. But that's all I got, I'm afraid. We can try binding left and right, but I don't think it controls the wheel. I think left and right will only control the menus, and we'll give it a go. We just start a random song. I don't think this is going to work. We do museum again, why not?
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, so I have... They changed it! Oh my god, they actually changed it. The modulation wheel works. Hang on, hang on. This is unexpected. You actually fixed it, you mad lads. Okay, well, it's possible to play this with a MIDI keyboard. I'm not gonna do it, but it is. Wow. Hey, the recent update came with something good. I cannot believe you did that. I'm genuinely surprised and impressed. But I'm not gonna spend the time to set up my, my sensitivity to make that work at any reasonable pace. But hey, it's doable. That's kinda cool. Alright, it's time for mouse, which is what most people, I guess, are going to play. Although, personally, my favourite is control. Enjoy my Windows disconnection noise? Let's do some mouse. Let me find a new track. Don't let me hear that. I'll get banned. Stop making me hear that. The Magician. Alright. You're up. Should we do some normal? We'll do some normal. We'll relax. What's different about mouse? Well, with mouse, I control the wheel at the bottom with my mouse. This means we're no longer moving in notches or anything that even vaguely resembles notches. There is a whole new level of precision to the game. Because it's very easy to overshoot, it's very easy to undershoot. Now, if you're particularly skilled at mouse control, and anyone who's watched any of my other Let's Plays will know I am absolutely horrendous at mouse control, this is probably the best control scheme, because you can flick from one side of the screen to the other in an instant if you want to. There's none of this having to progress through. If you want to spin like an absolute crazed lunatic, then you can do that. Well, it's your oyster, right? But it comes with a required level of precision. This is taxing for me. But you know what it does do? It makes the spins incredibly fun. I missed that one there for dramatic impact. Because you have to actually flick your wrist on the mouse. You can't just do a little bit of movement. I'll show you a little bit of movement and show you what happens. So if I just go left a bit, nope, doesn't allow it. On keyboard, if you make any kind of left input on a left spin, it goes, yeah, good enough. Because it's a keyboard, it knows you can't press the key harder. Well, you can, but the computer can't detect that you're pressing the key harder, so it just accepts anything. But for mouse, no, you gotta put your wrist out, or we're not accepting it. And spins are already the best thing in the game, and now you gotta commit to the spin. It's great. Yes, I would say my favorite control scheme is controller, but mouse is a different layer. It's, for me, more difficult, but I imagine more rewarding if you master it. I think it has the potential to be the most fun control scheme as well. But it's a little frustrating when you start out because it's genuinely more difficult than the alternatives. But being difficult isn't bad. You know, the name of the game isn't let's complete this as easy as we can. The name of the game is let's have some fun. I'm moving my hands to the beat. The more of my hand I can get involved in the movement, the more musical I feel, the more fun I'm having. Well, you know what's coming up. I'm going to have to do something on the hardest setting, which is appropriately named XD, lol top kick. And that is... I'm gonna die very quickly, but it's fun for you, I guess. Yeah, A is alright. Just like my parents always used to tell me. That was a lot of pressure to deal with. Right. Do you have a new safe song for me? Yes, you do. Robo Trio, you're up. XD. Right. I'm gonna die.
Ready? Go!
We now have to hold the green notes, is what this new thing that's going on is. You're wondering? Yep, that's about what I expected for that. Honestly, I did better than I thought I would. I'm not the best rhythm game player in the world. For context, whenever I play DDR or Stepmania or any other random the arrows are coming at you kind of game, I usually float around hard. I don't play very hard, I don't play crazy hard, I don't play literally I can't see what's going on the screen anymore. I like to just play sort of normal or hard. Well, not normal, normal's a bit slow, but like hard. Usually my kind of zone. Ah, I just unlocked a song that I want to show you. So, the very first time I played this game on the previous client, it defaulted to this song, and I don't know if that was blind chance, or if that was by design, but I think this song is a really, really good introduction song for how to play the game. Just because of the music. You see, I played this one a lot, the most. Because I thought it taught you how to play the game quite well. And I'm a little surprised to know this isn't by design. Because it's locked It's locked away behind quite a lot of level ups now, which is strange to me. But I'll show you the song anyway. And what shall we play it with? We'll play it with mouse. Keep it exciting, we'll play it on hard. In this particular music track, it really fits the game so well.
Okay, for those who don't have very good rhythm, we're going to get you started on the right foot or the left. Let's begin with a simple step pattern to get you attuned to the sound and feel.
You see what I mean?
Okay, step to the rhythm, move to the rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Sound and feel the rhythm. Begin with a simple rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Step to the rhythm, move to the rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Sound and feel the rhythm. Begin with a simple rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Let's have some fun when our work is done. I wanna dance all night with you. Let's have some fun when our work is done. I wanna dance all night with you.
Everything just seems so clean and designed. There's a good mix of all the different obstacles. It says spin when you need to spin. The green beats are sparse, but they're in there, and they seem to be tied to the climbing specifically. I don't know, this is just... Everything just fits so well within the game mechanics in this song. I'm amazed that you choose to hide this behind level ups. I think this should be song number 1 on the list to encourage people to play it first. It just works so well for teaching the game. And I guess it was just blind luck that I got this as my first song through random selection that I played before. Maybe, I don't know. Slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Let's have some fun when our work is done. I wanna dance all night with you. Let's have some fun when our work is done. I wanna dance all night with you. Just because I played it a lot doesn't mean I'm good at it. Be very clear about that. Step to the rhythm, move to the rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Sound and feel the rhythm. Begin with a simple rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Step to the rhythm, move to the rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Sound and feel the rhythm. Begin with a simple rhythm, slide to the rhythm, spin and do it all over again. Step to the rhythm. Complete. I like that song. In the context of the game. It's good. It really is. I said level me up. Now there is one more thing I wish to show you, because it's very important. That is, oh, it's in here apparently, at the bottom of the list, create. So what you can also do is you can create your own music tracks and your own beat patterns that you have to try and play, solve, complete, accurately time. I don't know, what do you do to music? Now, I'll be honest, this editor is kinda bare bones and not very intuitive to use. You have the waveform of the music at the top here. If you want to go back and change the song, you kind of have to go over here. There's even the option to change the song, audio clip. So I don't know, you can use any of the pre-existing musics, including the musics that you haven't unlocked yet, including the ones that are going to get me banned from YouTube. Icy Light was safe, wasn't it? So I can put Icy Light in here. And now that will just play out, and I can make my own musics for it. It's kind of awkward to actually set it up, because placing notes is weird. I'll give you some examples. In order to place notes, you use the numbers 1 through 6, but the variations of the notes are done by holding down Shift, which might not seem that weird, but it's kind of weird. In order to jump between notes, you have to use up and down, which sounds sensible, but in order to not just jump at random beat-based intervals, you have to hold down D and up. It's weird, man. Also, once you begin test playing your level, you have to memorize that R will get you back to the editor, because it doesn't show you on the screen, and if you don't remember, you're just going to get stranded. It's not intuitive. The editor is nice in the way that it works, but it could be clearer. It could be a lot clearer. But just to give you some idea of how it works, we'll do a little pattern here. I don't know this track very well, so it's kind of hard for me to actually do anything with this. Where's the I see the lights? They're coming, right? Right? You got any music in this music? There we go. We can see it coming in the waveform. Okay, this is too slow. I can't work with this. Stop. Here's all of the tracks in the game, by the way, if you're curious. Can't find the one I wanted, and now I'm wasting all your time. A twist sound, there we go. I know what this one sounds like, so I'm alright. Right, so we can set our own notes to this pretty easily. We can do stuff like this.
Okay, for those who don't have very good rhythm, we're going to get you started on the right foot or the left.
I'm just setting a random note to the clapping.
With a simple step pattern to get you attuned.
Not very exciting or anything. We can play back over the track now, and you'll be able to see these notes are exactly where I placed them, based on when I hit the keys on the keyboard. It's simple to do. And if that's going to take care of the clapping, then I don't know, I can put some other stuff on. We'll put some beats on.
Okay, for those who don't have very good rhythm, we're going to get you started on the right foot or the left. Let's begin.
Then when you play it back, you can see the different notes are in the different places. Once you've placed all of the notes, it just comes down to editing. So if you press up arrow and down arrow, this useless nonsense happens. But if you hold D and press up, then you jump to the next notes, and then you can manually just move them left and right to place them in all kinds of dubious positions to throw people off. And that is the basis of how you make a song. And I'm not going to make a song here because it would take me about an hour, but you get the idea. And it's very important you have something like this in a rhythm game, because that's what's going to give the game longevity. You let the community get their hands on this, and we're going to be dancing to memes before the day is out. People are going to go crazy with this kind of thing, and people can make some honestly wonderful creations. But yeah, that is Spin Rhythm XD. And I've got to say, I've enjoyed my time playing this a lot. It's very fun. I am not the best at rhythm games, but I do enjoy a rhythm game every now and again. And this one has a real professional look to it. I mean, I couldn't, aesthetically speaking, I don't think I could improve this or make any suggestions that improve it. It looks so polished, so professional, and you have to congratulate them for that, because it is wonderful. I have my small comments that I've made as I've gone along, but overall, the game, it's just fun. I don't like to play ultra seriously and stress myself out on expert mode. Or XD mode. Experts. I mean, it's actually a fun challenge. XD mode is too much for me. But just chilling and playing some normal difficulty, relaxing. Got sort of trance-inducing meditation backgrounds going by. It's nice. It's a nice way to spend half an hour or so if you just want to relax. I highly rate this game. I really do. But hey, I've been Artega Omega, this has been Spin Rhythm XD. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at the gameplay. I hope it gave you an idea of what the game is like. I make other gameplay videos, little mini reviews, that kind of thing. If you'd like to check one of those out, it would be much appreciated. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
I can't do my own song! It's too hard!